All right, everyone. It's been a long journey from early in the morning to now, beginning of the afternoon. Our last panel discussion centered around the real world asset space. If you're walking around the venue and you're curious about real world assets, especially wine and spirits, and what putting them on chain looks like, join the fashion stage. I'm your host, Zach Atkins, and then I'm going to run through introductions and we'll get going. Maxime, am I pronouncing that correctly? Okay, with interstellar.io, putting wine on chain, a wine marketplace. We've got Chantalle, am I pronouncing that correctly? Alberstadt with Board Brands, and then I got to check my notes because there's been so many of you. Metabrew Society, so a brewery on chain. We've got Tony, who's a longstanding member of the show, joining us again, representing Sakazuki NFT, whiskey NFT. And then we've got Taki with Raccoon Gin and the Gin 8 brand, all things gin. So thanks, guys, for joining us. Thank you, audience, for tuning in. Maxime, we're going to start with you as far as just run through introductions, who you are, what you're building with Interstellar.
Amazing, thank you. My name is Maxime Garot, and I'm the co-founder of Interstellar. Interstellar, I don't know if you know and if you heard about us. It's a marketplace, and we're selling wine through NFTs in our marketplace, fine wine and spirits. We're working with almost 100 brands. We're launching Mouton Rothschild, Smith Lafitte, and some spirits label like Dalmor in next months. And that's it. How customer can buy and get NFTs. They can claim when they want the bottle, redeem, but they can store and trade in our marketplace just after they bought. And Interstellar just is that's it. Really easy for the customer and brands.
Awesome. Chantalle, go ahead and share about elevator pitch on your...
I'm Chantalle. I'm co-founder of Metabrew Society. I see some people who already have a Metabrew Society certificate. So we started like 2 years ago. We are already on chain with that. But if you hold a Metabrew Society NFT, you get 240 cans beer for free, shipping home. Doesn't matter where you're living in the world. We're shipping to 45 countries already. And that was kind of the kickstart of our business model. So our community helped us to first really deliver worldwide, but also we had a 1.2 million funding through those NFTs to kickstart the business model. And right now we just try to sell a lot of beer to keep going. And actually that's the main part.
Awesome. Thanks. Tony.
Hey everybody, my name is Tony Hererra. I'm here today representing Sakazuki NFT, which is a Suntory Brands NFT that gives you access to fine whiskey.
Hello. My name is Taki. I'm PM of Raccoon Gin. Nice to meet you guys. So we have our own booth there. You can try some gin later on if you want. We are a Polish distillery selling already our gin worldwide, and we are entering Web3 with a lot of big advantages and utilities for holders. We didn't launch our NFT collection yet, so you are really early. And yeah, happy to meet you and talk to you later on our bar.
Yeah, and I guess you can't, NFTs and the ape community are somewhat synonymous because we've had all morning representatives from the ape community. Taki's one of those with what they're building with Raccoon Gin and the Gin 8 brand. So it's a fun intermingling of, I guess you can't escape apes in the NFT world. So anyways, let's get to what you're doing at Interstellar, putting wine on chain. I know we've got all liquid, and so you can see our title is making, and I guess liquid gold is not typically gin or any of those, but we figured we'd take a fun play on it. So go ahead and talk about like putting wine on chain. What does that process look like, and then how are you going about I guess reaching people with wine on chain?
Yeah, amazing. Thank you. It's a really good question. But in begin, we have to bring brands before in our marketplace, and after we have the customer. But we have start and focus on the customer. It was like 2 years ago. We create a club. The name is Wine Bottle Club, and we have already 2,000 people in this club. We sold out 2 years ago, and we create the first community in the Web3 and the spirits and wine through this club. And after this, we try to get some brands, famous brands, because our focus in Interstellar is to because fine wine is average sell 6 or 7 times before to be drunk. And you have many problem when you are selling wine or want to buy. It's like about the storage, if it's fake, you know, and the footprint, because your bottle go 7 and go around the world, you know, and when you buy it after 10 years, you don't know how the storage was be and everything. And we tried with 7 brands. We sold like for 500K euro of bottle last year. And many brands call us to launch in Interstellar. And the customer right now, they try our marketplace because they need, you know, storage, because they travel around the world, and they need to buy a bottle, trust Interstellar, because they don't have a problem with storage and liquidity of the market, because they can sell. And we get some new customer with this option, you know.
Yeah, and it's interesting because we have at least my ignorance in the spirit, wine and spirit space. We have kind of what I would consider investment grade assets, because you've got wine. People invest in bottles of wine and vintage wines. Same thing with whiskey is kind of one of those more kind of investable grade assets or potential assets. With MetaBrew, I'm curious about kind of benefits of putting beer on chain or a brewery on chain. What do the mechanisms and dynamics look like?
Actually, I would say that it's not the biggest benefit that we are on chain, but we were building a community from the start. And actually, when we launched, it was already bear market and people were kind of happy. I mean, as I said, some of the people here have a MetaBrew NFT, and it would be great to let them talk. But that if you invested like $1,000 US, which was the price point at that point to mint, they got like definitely at least 3 years beer for free. At least that's what we guaranteed, 240 cans a year. So it was like kind of a no-brainer if they believe that we make it for the first 3 years. And as we guaranteed it with the imprint and such, it was fine. And to build a community, make money at the beginning, like the kind of funding, and start from there. So we have that really old school business model, like having a beer brand, and started the whole marketing and including Web3 and we want to do some gamifications in the future, but as everyone who is founding something, you have a limited capacity at the beginning. So there is so much more we can do, but at the end, it was not the thing about being on chain, but like getting that kind of funding, building a real community. They are helping us not just with the money, but also what kind of beer they want to order. And we get a really good feedback.
Yeah, it's interesting because, yeah, you do have that dynamic of there's putting things on chain to fight counterfeiting. You have a lot of like wine impersonators, but then for, you know, your brand is more about building a community, and that's kind of blockchain affords the opportunity to have this group of raving fans that then now they're getting your product for, you know, a period of 3 years, and so they're, you know, it continues to feed that and fuel that that sense of camaraderie and community. I'm curious with whiskey, you know, with Sakazuki, it's NFT tied to whiskey. What do the mechanics and mechanisms look like for community around that?
So with Sakazuki, it's an invite only NFT where you basically mint the NFT, and the NFT gives you access to specific bottles of select spirits that Suntory is bringing out. So Suntory is one of the iconic brands when it comes to whiskey, and they have a number of blends of whiskey, if you will. So if you're a whiskey connoisseur, you have Hibiki, you also have Yamazaki, and those are really, like, Yamazaki is really hard to come by. Yeah. So with this particular NFT, you essentially have access to redeem the bottle, right? So you can one, mint a specific bottle, and then you can redeem it. But also you can also have access to experiences. So the event, the NFT can also give you access to the distillery in Kyoto, and it can give you experiences within Japan. But then also it makes it to where, since it's tokenized, since the bottle is essentially a token, you can essentially trade it. So you can either redeem it, or somebody, Chantalle happens to be a whiskey connoisseur, she can basically bid on it and basically trade it. So it provides what we mentioned earlier as far as the marketplace for trading of those tokens.
So since it's invite only, because there's like kind of there's a largely lower barrier entry communities, and there's like exclusive invite only, kind of what you experience in the world of luxury, and what as far as trading do you see going on if it's like for invite only type NFT communities?
So to back up a little bit, so the NFT is actually minting now. So it was invite only. It's only limited supply, so it's not, it's not anything that anybody here would be able to get access to. But the way we approached it is that we did it where we actually at previous events, mostly around Bright Moments and our Block Summit, we would essentially invite individuals. So I'd say, Sakazuki, Suntory in this case has a team, and we basically ask individuals who we thought would be a good addition to it, we would invite them. So those individuals who attended whiskey tastings that we held at different locations, out of that group, out of those tastings. So think of it like an experience. You get to come to an event here, and you go to some, you go to Raccoon Gin, and Raccoon Gin has this special tasting that says, hey, look, we have this little bottle here. We're going to give you this tasting. Oh, I'm interested in that. Then that's the way we did it. So it's a little bit of an approach of like, let's curate, if you will, a group of individuals who would be interested in this particular product, and that's the way we approached it.
Yeah, awesome. I love learning the inner workings of how communities build, how it pays to interact. So, like whether it's for an airdrop or for to be a part of an exclusive community, it pays to just have some fun and test things out. So
in this space, it always pays to be early. It always pays to take a chance and adopt something that you may think it's going to be a really cool experience, and sort of have, be willing to say, let me get into this. Maybe you don't really completely understand it. Like, tokenized bottles of wine. It's like, okay, gin. Like, yeah, so oftentimes I tell people, just take a chance.
Yeah, I would say action is better than inaction. Especially if it's low barrier to entry, low cost. Taki, I want to, you have a fun, because you've got the combination of your Raccoon Gin brand with, with the ape community. Tell us about those mechanics. You kind of got built-in community, but you're also going to be building community like around that brand. What does that look like?
Yeah, exactly. So we have, like Chantalle said, we want to go away a little bit from this boring Web 2 selling. Yeah, it's necessary because it brings us money, so it's good. But on the other way, we want to have a little bit more fun, and the on-chain mechanism helps us a lot to, let's say, especially for traceability. Yeah, so we have two ways we want to work. One is, like you said, with collaborations. Like, for example, with Yuga, we will be at the Ape Fest. We will break a Guinness World Record there, so it will be a big thing. We have a special collection called Gin Ape, only for Bored Ape or Mutant holders, but we are open for sure for other collaborations. This is also why we are here. So it means that if we collaborate, for example, with, let's take World of Women or whatever, yeah, then they have their own collection. It's a benefit for their holders. They will get a discount when they buy the bottles, but also the founder team, the team behind World of Women, will get a certain percentage of the sales. Yeah, so it helps them also. It's a win-win-win situation, let's say, at the end. And the second way, we have NFC chips on our bottles also for traceability. Means that, like you guys said already, the possibilities are endless, right? So we can imagine, for example, if you buy 10 bottles, so each bottle you will get also an NFT, yeah, which you have in your wallet. Then if you buy 10 bottles, you can burn them and claim we call it the Big Bertha, the 3-liter bottle, for example, with your own label on it. If you have 20 NFTs, you can burn them and go to a special event, for example. All this kind of stuff we are still thinking about, but yeah, this is why we thought about putting it on chain. For us, it's fun. It's fun at the end, yeah.
Well, I think that's kind of the crux of especially wine and spirits is like you're looking for a good time. You're looking for something to enjoy, whether it's sipping because you enjoy it for taste, or you want to drink a little bit excess or whatever it may be. It's about fun. These panels fly by, so we're coming up on time. I want to give time for each of y'all to promo anything, share closing thoughts on kind of what you see in maybe the future of the space, or again, if you're launching anything, share
Thank
it
you.
now.
Yeah, we can find, because it's not right here, but our website is intercellar.io. And I told you we are almost 100 brands, and you can already buy and sell and claim your bottle in our website. And we're launching a token in the September. And if you have any question, you can come to talk with me.
Absolutely.
I actually don't have so much to promote. I mean, you could buy our beer already. We already have the token out. But really use the time here to start, get to know people and collaborate, because that is how the space is growing and how we get all of these cool ideas we want to do at the end.
I don't have much to add to what they just mentioned. One of the things that I do love about tokenization that I think would be great for tokenized liquor, if you will, is to add both the experience level in it, which is like, okay, I attend certain things and I can get rewarded. So one of the things that is really amazing about tokenized is that you can have these experience tokens that essentially equate to loyalty tokens. And the other aspect that's really awesome is that all the NFC chips, all these tokens, essentially, if you scan a bottle, it's basically a token. And I love the fact that you can add now a layer. There's a project in the LA that we're working with around vaping. So when you think about a vape, you put it down. The beauty about tokenization and the fact that that's tied to Bluetooth is now you can age cap it, right? So now it could be where I can pick up the vape on it, put it down, but if somebody else picks it up, it's not usable because it's connected to Bluetooth, right? So one of the other things that I really love is like that we've been discussing internally is what about if you took a bottle? It's one thing for you to collect a whiskey bottle and one thing for you to collect wine and gin, but for them, what you want is you want a proof of consumption. So how to layer on to a proof of consumption? What if you could figure out through technology a way that that not only did Zach collect a wine bottle, but now can we have a proof of consumption? And that's really, it's kind of equivalent to a POP, right? We all go around and collect POPs, right? What if I know that you've bought 3 expensive bottles of whiskey and I know now through technology that you consume them, and I know your wallet, I can just airdrop you a reward. That to me is really exciting.
Absolutely. I think a lot of brands that shift to that will find that value, and it's huge to reward the people that have helped build the community and continue that growth. Taki, closing thoughts.
Yeah, for me, the last word is just, I mean, I can talk for hours and hours about gin, but you have to fucking taste it, right? So the booth is there. Come to taste the gin and you will love it.
I brought tonic, so
It's a gin tonic, so all good. So come and have a drink and then we can talk there.
And you mentioned your NFT launching soon, right?
Yes, exactly. You guys still have time, so you didn't miss anything. We can talk about the NFT at the booth. So we will launch more or less around October, so it's still time.
I had a question. What world record are you guys breaking that?
This is still a secret. You have, you'll find out. But it's
What, like a bunch of bored apes in a bathtub or something?
Garga will drink a lot of this. No. I just tell you one word: Snoop Dogg.
Very interesting. We've had some good alpha on the panel discussions. Maybe that's the best one. So be on the lookout. 8 Fest, right? That's in Lisbon this year.
It is. It is here also in Lisbon.
You don't have to leave the country in order to just stay here for however many months. Stay here, build the economy for Lisbon, all that good stuff. Yeah, go ahead.
I just want to say, if you can stay for a second, because we want to take a picture with the guys, and that would be amazing.
Absolutely. Please give everyone a round of applause for the panelists. We also have a gift from Galileo for y'all for joining. So thank you guys. I don't want to speak for John, but we have a champagne break. So hang around. I'm not in charge of the champagne break, but be on the lookout for that distribution.